in on a little secret, so listen carefully. I haven't always been this cool. Really, in all honesty, I've had to work for it. Ever since those days in middle school where your popularity was determined by whom you sat next to during lunchtime or who you went to school dances with, if anyone at all, I've been making decisions that somehow affect my social status in life. Well, there was this one time not at band camp, it was 8th grade, and I was sitting next to the most popular girl in school in science class. Unfortunately, I also had the misfortune of sitting behind two of the most perverted specimens of the male species, who were by no ironic twist of fate, the most popular guys on campus. Now, there was one day that I distinctly remember, however, because it was a day that changed who I was as an individual. At that point in time, I had no set future, no set goals, nothing I particularly wanted to do with my life. And so, like any other teenage girl with braces, I wanted to be popular. I wanted it so bad that I was willing to change who I was to get it. But this day was different. Now, I've dragged this on long enough, so I'll just tell you what happened. Here we are, sitting in science class, working on our worksheets and partners, and I, of course, was partnered up with the popular girl at school. We'll call her Cindy. So all was going well until the two guys in front of us, we'll call them Jack and John, decided to turn around and start fooling around. Now, Cindy had decided to wear a very short skirt that day, and in the pursuit of their male needs, I guess, Jack and John were attempting to, in all ways possible, look up Cindy's skirt. Something inside of me snapped, and their actions not only disgusted me, but infuriated me as well. I mean, here were these two guys who thought they could get away with treating a woman like a piece of meat. And even though the guys thought that Cindy was asking for it with what she was wearing, no woman deserves that kind of animalistic treatment. But here comes the inner conflict. Do I say what I want to say and risk my popularity? Or do I keep my mouth shut and play along? Now, I wasn't the only person who was deep in thought, because when I turned to the side, I saw Cindy contemplating whether or not she should say anything to stop the boys, or whether she should let them continue to disrespect her. Sherlyn Shuling was a Hawaiian woman that could have answered Cindy's question. A Hawaiian woman who, despite the constant prejudices from her surroundings, confronted her inner beauty and who she was. She said, "I've been subjected to some instances of prejudice, and being a fairly radical product of the 1960s, I fought many battles with people regarding being proud of who I was, and argued frequently over racial issues, and I often won." Now this got me thinking, why couldn't Cindy realize the struggle that women had to go through to obtain that joy of being proud to be who she was? Jack and John, however, were getting more and more impatient. I instinctively attempted to cover up as much of Cindy as I possibly could. This action, however, infuriated Jack and John. Yes, it impeded upon their male pleasure. And they started saying and doing things that pissed me off. Because now, not only were they disrespecting Cindy, but they were compromising my self-respect as well, and that was not okay. This day, the resonating voices of Asian American women and of my mom helped guide me to make the right decision. Women like Sherlyn Shuling stood up and openly spoke their minds in an arena where actions of that magnitude were unheard of. That said a lot about her strength of character. I wanted that. I wanted to be like her. And that day, I did become her. I told Jack and John off, the best way an 8th grader could. I told them to grow up, grow some balls, and start acting like real men, because no one likes guys who act smaller than their dicks. Not the best comeback, but a comeback nonetheless. What I wish I had told Cindy was the advice that my mom has been giving me since I was young. She said, if you have something to say, say it. If you want to stand up for something, stand up for it. And if you're given the chance to speak your mind, speak it. And if you're given the opportunity to do all three, take advantage of it. Stand up for what you believe in. Say what you have to say, and speak your mind.